Hey everyone, welcome back to Dogs 101. I'm your host Nick. As always, disclaimers, I'm not an expert, I was just a dog trainer for a bit, and I'm imparting that knowledge onto you. So today's topic is going to be about jumping up. So, main problem with jumping up is that much like any other problem that we have with dogs, is our human reaction is the opposite of what we should be doing for when a dog jumps up. Now, I personally feel like you should start training your dog not to jump up at a very early age when they're a puppy, so they kind of get it in their head that that's how things need to be. And oftentimes people don't do that because when they're young and they're a small puppy, it's not an issue yet. So, I mean, they barely come up to your knee. It's cute, it's adorable, they want your attention, they look all wiggly. But oftentimes that cute little bundle of joy is going to turn into a 50 to 100-pound dog later on in life. And then it'll be jumping up on, older people that don't have as good a balance, younger, smaller kids that even if the dog is doing it in a completely playful way, just one scratchy claw can, leave a streak down the side of the face. Now the kid, thinks the dog attacked them. The overprotective parent is gonna, has to, try and get the dog put down. It's just not a good scene. So I always recommend having a dog that only jumps up on command. So that's what a lot of people are worried about when I first talk about not jumping up. But one of my favorite things to do is go up, and have the dog jump up, and then they give the hugs, and then they do a little dance with the dog, and I think that is just stinking adorable, and obviously is fine, but that's on command. So um, I'm not telling you not to teach up. I'm just telling you to teach the dog that they should only be jumping up with permission, because there are some people that are afraid of dogs. Some people that the dog doesn't understand if they just walk through a mud puddle that up is not a good time right now. There's multiple reasons why dogs shouldn't just jump up on their own. But I just want to make sure that you understand. I'm not saying the dog should never be allowed to jump up, okay? Let's just get that out of the way right there. So here's where the main problem starts when it comes to dogs jumping up, and that is how we react to them jumping up. So they'll jump up, and one of the main reasons is to get your attention. So for a dog, it's just like how the phrase "there's no such thing as bad publicity," which in this day and age we can tell is not the case. But for a dog, there's really no such thing as bad attention. So, for instance, if the dog jumps up and you're going, "No, it's attention. They won. They are like you basically lost the battle to the dog because even though you're giving them bad attention, as in like you're not doing something that I want, they're like, oh, but you see me, don't you? Oh, but you're paying attention to me, aren't you? Even if you're yelling at me, you're still yelling at me. So for a dog, you just gave them what they wanted. So the proper response to when a dog does jump up is first of all, immediately no eye contact. Eye contact can be a challenge in some cases, but even if the dog knows you and knows that this isn't a challenge, it's still attention. So the very first thing you want to try to do, doesn't come naturally at first, but second the dog jumps up, immediately avert the eyes, get that attention away from them. The other thing is we tend to try and grab their paws and place them off of us, and again, that's a game now to them. You grab their paws, you flung them off, and so their natural reaction is like, yeah, all right, we're doing this. So much like playing catch, where you throw the ball, they bring it back, throw the ball, bring it back. If they put their paws on you and you take the paws and you take them off of you, well, that's put them on, take them off, put them on, take them off. Now it's a game. So you don't want to use your hands, and this is the case with a lot of dog training, is to not use your hands, instead use your body. Use your body, to block them from a treat instead of trying to get to it first with your hands, because then they think it's a game. So it's the same thing with the jumping up. So if anything, I would even say your instinct would be to just put your hands behind your back if you need to remember not to use them. Um, but just some light bumping with your knee works pretty well. Obviously, I'm not telling you to knee the dog and have him go flying. I mean, just like, enough to make it hard for them to stay up and a little uncomfortable, because that's not the reaction that they were going for. They weren't looking for, a soft push on the belly to get them off of them. They were looking for more attention. And again, don't be saying no, especially don't be saying down, because I guarantee you that the odds are 90% of people out there that are listening to this that speak English have down mean lay down. So one word per trick. So if down means lay down, then don't say down for them to go off of a couch or off of your body. Instead, off would work better. And that's just an example. You can use whatever phrase is going to be able to come to you more naturally. But don't try and have down mean literally all the things that it means in the English language. Have down mean lay down, and then have off mean get off. And like I said, dogs are smart enough to be able to figure out, okay, well, if they're up and you want them off, you can apply that to not just you, but also a couch or anything. I just if a dog just jumps up on the couch and you say down, guess what the dog's going to do? Even if they're pretty sure they know what you want from them, they're going to lay down on that couch, pretending not to understand or genuinely being confused. So you want to oh, and also another natural instinct for us to do is if the dog jumps up, is for us to turn our body away. And much like uh, a herding dog that's trying to like nip at your ankles, trying to go away from them is only going to encourage slash reward their prey drive. So if you turn away, then all they're going to try and do is just jump up on your side or on your back. So you actually want to go kind of into it because that's the opposite reaction of what they're expecting. So you would instead of going no, stop, down, off, you would actually be going forward, no eye contact, slight knee to the belly. Basically just the opposite of what your natural instinct is. And now, having said that, no, don't say no, don't say knock it off. But as I say in many of the videos, it seems like an arbitrary difference, but you can go and that isn't technically giving them attention as long as you are not making eye contact, not responding with your hands, and you're going If that's a phrase that you've used before to tell them that what they're doing isn't quite right, just no, you come up across too alpha, and I explained in other videos that they're not wolves. We don't have to be alpha with them. We just have to be consistent. And if you're consistent with the uh-uhs, they'll know what that means. So you can throw in an if they already understand that that means, oh, no, remember, we don't do that. So, make sure that you do that and that everybody in the household is on board with that as well. And pretty quickly, I mean, usually within a week, the dog is to the point where you can actually get them riled up and 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 then stop playing. And then their instinct is going to be to jump. And instead, they'll just do this little like hop, like, oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, shoot. So getting them to not do that in the members of a household, if everybody's on board, can actually be pretty quick and easy, a lot faster and easier than you probably immediately realized. And this is where we get to the real main problem. And I think you already know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I know what to do. My significant other knows what to do, but now we got to go out in public. And the biggest detriment to your training always will forever be other people. And God bless them, a lot of them comes from a good heart, but this is where you're going to get really discouraged with your jumping up training, because here's how it's going to go down. The dog already knows don't jump on you. The dog already knows don't jump on your SO. Now they meet somebody new, and they're excited, and they're outside, so usually the training is a little bit in the back of their head when they're outside, which is why it's really important to do a lot of outdoor training whenever possible. But they're going to meet a new person and immediately be like, oh my God, I want to say hi, I want to jump up. And that stranger doesn't know the rules of the household that mom and dad have in place, Mom and dad is an example. So what is going to happen is, the person's going to, go up to the dog, all excited. The dog's going to jump on them, and they're going to reward them by going, oh, look at the puppy, I'm getting kisses on my face. And if you say, to the dog, everyone's natural reaction, that's a dog lover, is going to go, oh, it's okay. People automatically assume that you're doing it for their benefit, not the dog's benefit. So here's ideal situation number one, that the person knows dogs well enough to, even though the body language is so stinkingly obvious that the dog wants to get pets, hopefully the stranger's going to say, gorgeous dog, can I say hi? Because that's going to give you the chance to then say the magical words, they're in training. This is the best way to diffuse almost any situation when it comes to that misunderstanding of, oh, it's okay. So if they say, oh my God, what a gorgeous dog, can I say hi? You can explain, yes, but they're in training for jumping up, so only if all four paws are on the ground. Usually that's all you need to do. And then so if the dog jumps up, the person turns away, they do whatever. But more often than not, it's going to be the person that just goes, oh my God, what a gorgeous dog, and then runs up without asking permission or giving you the chance to say the rules for the dog first. Dog jumps up, and then you go, and then they go, oh, it's okay. So again, to help diffuse the situation, just use those magical words, just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, they're in training. You know, is it okay if we try this again?" And they only get attention, if they don't jump up. And as soon as you do they're in training thing, most people just do a complete 180 where they're just like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to disrupt, your training. I know it's hard to get a dog on board." And oftentimes, you now have an extra hand in training the dog because a lot of people are more than happy to, wait an extra couple of seconds for you to get the dog back in position. For you to be like, oh, so if they do jump up, could you just do this no eye contact? And they're taking notes. If they're a dog owner and they have a dog that jumps up at home, they're not only happy to help, but they're just like, I'm getting free lessons out of this. So I do what? I don't make eye contact? Okay. Oh, I use my knee instead of my hands. That's a good to know. That's good to know. And now you have somebody else that's doing the same thing that mom, that the pet parents are doing. And so if that happens often enough, then now the dog is going to know, ah, shoot, they told everybody in the world. Okay, I guess I'm just not jumping up anymore. And again, I want to make sure that the dog doesn't feel like, oh my God, I have to be down at this level for the rest of my life. I am a huge fan of going down and going up, up, and then like, okay, are you sure? Are you sure? Because I know you don't like this jumping up thing. And you're just like, it's okay. And then they're just like, all right, you telling me it is? All right, are you sure? And then they got up, and then their tails wagging, and they're trying to give you kisses, and it's great. So I never want to take that away from them, but that's definitely something that I actually feel helps with the training, as long as the dog realizes, oh, this is just as long as I, as long as I get permission first, because I feel like they're a little more resistant to the jumping up, where they're just like, I can't do that anymore. That's like my thing. This is what I like to do. So, because it's debatable. Like for instance, with barking, some it's like 50-50. I feel with trainers, it's like some will say teaching them a hush command, or actually no, right, sorry, teaching them to speak can actually help you teach them not to bark, because then they're like, well, why would I bark unless it's for a treat, and it's not going to be for a treat without speak. Same thing with the jumping up. It's like, well, why would I jump up if all I'm going to get is and No, I want to wait for that time when they get the up, and then it's going to be a nice longer one. They're going to be into it as well. So yeah, that's the important thing. And so especially if they have issues with doing it, with little kids, then obviously you want to kind of work your way up to letting them do the greeting. At first, you might just want to start with, like, you know, oh, I'm so sorry, but she's still in training, with children, and just get them used to passing the kids, and then after a while you'll notice they don't really have as much interest in the kids because they're just like, well, I'm not going to be able to say hi anyway. And then maybe that's a good time to start trying to do, okay, now you can go say hi. And then as soon as the dog starts getting excited, then you're, okay, thank you so much, okay, we got to get going. So there's ways to try and work them up to it, but that's pretty much the general idea, is that you want to make sure that you're not confusing them with your words or your body language. You want to make sure that everybody in the house is on board, and then you can start training with random strangers. And I mean, there's just nothing really better than being able to just, you know, take them out, take them out, take them out, take them out. Just do it as many times in a row as you can. Because again, dogs learn kind of funny. They have a vague memory where it's like repetition is going to do the trick, rather than, oh, okay, well, they got it. There's no okay, they got it. There's okay, they have that in their head, and let's just do constant reminding sessions. And you can obviously make those sessions be fewer and further between the more that the dog has it part of their habit. But dogs very much go off of instinct, and they very much go off of muscle memory. So this is something you really want to try and do often. And like I said, nothing really beats at a young age, because then they already grow up used to it, instead of having it be a new rule because now they're so big they're bowling people over. So, just try and think long term, and again, still give them some hugs. Absolutely. So I hope that was helpful. Again, if you guys have any, training issues that you might want me to address in a future episode, please put it in the comments, and I'll definitely try and do a nice generalized lesson, because it's kind of different from person to person. You're going to probably be that one unique person that it's like, well, I tried all the things that you said, but I got a real stubborn dog. And then maybe I can do a follow-up video later. But for right now, please let me know if that was helpful, if you have any further questions, or if you just want to have another subject that you'd like to hear me talk about. I appreciate you, and again, hope that helped, and have a good day.